Hi everybody, this is Rune. Welcome to this tutorial about navigation in Rhino3D. In this video I'm going to show you how to pan, rotate and zoom around a 3D model so we can make the best drawings possible. Alright, let's get started. First things first, you should really have a mouse instead of the trackpad on your laptop computer. It doesn't have to be fancy and it doesn't have to be wireless or anything like that, but just having a mouse with a left mouse button, a middle mouse button and a right mouse button is going to make your life so much easier down the line as you're following along here. At the end of the last video we had a box, and for the purposes of learning navigation we're just going to make one again. I'm going to click over here where it says box and I'm going to draw a box in my perspective viewport, clicking for one corner, clicking for the next corner and clicking for the height. Now in order to see it in a more 3D-ish view, I'm going to go and click on the little drop down menu next to perspective, and I'm going to change from wireframe to shaded view. And then I'm actually just going to double click this to maximize the perspective viewport. Remember, you can always double click to go back and double click on any one of these viewports to go into full screen mode. Another thing you can do is down here, these tabs, you can actually switch from perspective to top, to front, to right here. So I'm going to go back to perspective mode now. Now we have our box. How do we navigate around it? If you go to the third tab up here by your buttons, set view, then I have these three tools in the beginning of the tab: pan view, rotate view, and zoom dynamic. Let me show you what they do. The first one, pan, click and drag to pan. So I click and drag to move around my 3D model. The next tool is rotate, and surprise, surprise, if I click and drag, I'm going to rotate around my box. The third tool is zoom, and yeah, you guessed it, if I click and drag, I zoom in and out. Now it's a bit cumbersome to have to click these buttons every time we have to move around our model. So luck would have it that there's some really easy mouse shortcuts to do exactly the same thing. First things first, if I just hold the right mouse button, I can zoom around my object. So that's the shortcut for zoom. If I then hold shift and right click, then I can pan around my model. And if I hold control and right click, I zoom. By combining these, I can actually move around my model quite quickly and quite efficiently. Some other good commands are zoom extends and zoom selected. Zoom selected is quite easy. If I select an object and then I press zoom selected, it just zooms in on the object, which is very handy if you have a big complex model. Now I can rotate around and look closer at my object here. Zoom extends is really handy if I want to go out and see my whole model. Now my whole model is only this box right now. So let me just make another box. I'll just make it randomly over here. And now I kind of want to see my whole model. So I'm actually going to click here, zoom extends, and then you can see it encompassed my whole model. So if I was zoomed, let's say, right into this box and then clicked zoom extends, I would zoom out so I could see all my geometry. So no matter how large my drawing is, I'll see everything. With those 5 commands, pan, rotate, zoom, zoom selected, and zoom extends, you can navigate around any 3D model in Rhino. Follow along in the next tutorial where we're actually going to start drawing the plan of a house. That might seem totally impossible right now, but don't worry, I'm going to hold your hand all the way through it, and I promise you, you can do it. So follow along, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.